Do 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 da 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 and a happy new. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dean the Turkey Legster. Welcome to another edition of Once Upon a Turkey Leg. Every Thursday, I'm here at this time. If you're here live, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here to read some stories. Of course, I've been the whole month of December, I am in Christmas mode. So I will be in a couple minutes here. Um, I will be reading some Christmas stories. Um, it is December the 26th, of course, the day after Christmas. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I sure did. I got a little bit of cleaning done earlier today, and then earlier this evening I actually went out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive around and look at Christmas lights. Um, I know as the days go on, we get closer to New Year's and even beyond New Year's. The lights and pretty Christmas lights are all going to be coming down. So I wanted to go one last time tonight. Um, yeah. Tina McNeil, hello. Ollie Oxen Free, come out wherever you are. Yeah, I was like a minute late going live. Sorry about that. Dapper Vanda Crew, hello. Hello, Gloria, hello. Curtis family, hello. Oh, sorry. Jason, welcome in. Hello. And yeah, hope you all have had a um great night. Um so I was only late because I popped into a Zippity Doo Dug. Zippity Doo Dug is currently live at Epcot, and I want to go ahead with the stories because I want to send you guys over to Zippity Doo Dug because Luminous is going to be happening at 9:30, and I want to try to get done with the stories before then, and so because I want to go enjoy Luminous. Jordan, hello, Epcot Forever. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. So hope you all are having a great December 26th. And so without further ado, oh, and I should mention Zippity Doo Dug. Of course, recently I added Zippity Doo Dug as one of my Gobble Squad moderators, but Zippity Doo Dug just hit 3,000 subscribers on his channel. So huge congratulations to Doug on that. Growing. All the channels are growing. Um, so with that, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's read some fun stories. I've been doing a lot of classics and favorites earlier on throughout the month. So for this final edition of Christmas, Once Upon a Turkey Leg, I'm going to be doing some Disney Christmas stories from the Disney Christmas Storybook Collection. So the first story is one that I don't think I haven't read. I don't think I have ever read on the channel, but if I have, it has been since last year. But it is Alice in Wonderland, A present for the queen. So, get cozy, get comfortable. We're going to read a story. It looks like Christmas, Alice said, gazing out her parlor window one cold December afternoon. Snow sparkled in the fields and on the branches of the pine trees. Outside, children were building a snowman. Alice thought about joining them, but the parlor was so warm and cozy. Alice yawned. Perhaps it would be best to stay inside after all. Suddenly, something hopped across the snow in front of Alice's house. It was a rabbit with white fur wearing a red coat. Alice sat up, startled, and peered out the window. Why, it's the White Rabbit from Wonderland, she cried. It's lost, the White Rabbit wailed as he hurried past the house. Oh my, it's lost. I don't know what it is. Alice quickly put on her winter coat and ran outside after the rabbit. She caught up to him just as he was about to dive into a hole under the tree. Under a tree. Oh, you must let me through, the White Rabbit cried. I've lost the Queen of Hearts Christmas present. If I can't find it, she'll have my head. Oh dear, that would be awful indeed, Alice said. Please let me help you find it. But the White Rabbit simply dove down the hole without another word. Uh-uh. Alice followed the White Rabbit down the hole, leaving her house far behind. As Alice fell, she passed all sorts of Christmas decorations, stockings, wreaths, garlands, and even a beautifully dressed tree. Down and down and down she fell until she landed with a thump. Alice saw the rabbit's fluffy tail disappear through a door. She hurried after him and found herself on a snowy path lined with evergreen trees. The White Rabbit was gone, but Alice could see his footprints in the snow. Alice made her way down the path, admiring the lights on the trees. Then she noticed something. Why, they're fireflies, she exclaimed. Hi, Stephen. Welcome in from Wyoming. All at once, the footprints stopped. I've lost him again, Alice said with a sigh. Lost who? Someone asked. A toothy smile appeared in one of the snowy trees, followed quickly by a purple striped cat around the smile. Just a cat, Alice cried happily. Maybe you can help me. The White Rabbit has lost the Queen's present, and but that's lost a what? The the wait. But that's a lost what? The cat interrupted, grinning down at Alice. I thought you said you lost a who? Alice frowned. Usually she quite enjoyed riddles, but she always had such trouble explaining herself to the Cheshire Cat. I didn't lose a what, she said to the smiling cat. The White Rabbit did, and now I've lost him. Suddenly the Cheshire Cat disappeared, leaving the tree branch empty once again. I can't help you with your lost who, he called out, but I can help you with your lost what. Try the Mad Hatter. So there's the fireflies right there. Alice looked around. She knew the Mad Hatter wasn't on the path behind her, so she continued forward, and soon she heard music. Deck the halls with bowls of jelly, foo-loo-loo-loo-loo-loo-loo. Alice emerged in a clearing. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare stood with their arms around each other, singing. They stopped when they saw Alice. Join us, the Mad Hatter cried. We're singing Christmas carols. Christmas heralds? Alice asked, confused. Don't you mean Christmas carols? What does carol have to do with it? The March Hare said. Everyone knows Harold wrote all the best Christmas songs. And with that, the March Hare and the Mad Hatter began to sing again. Oh, Christmas tea, with milk and cream we drink thee. But that's not how this song goes at all, Alice said, shaking her head. And anyway, I don't have time to sing. The White Rabbit has lost the Queen's Christmas present, and suddenly the Mad Hatter jumped in front of Alice, holding a teapot and a teacup. Cold cocoa, he offered, handing Alice the teacup. Don't you mean hot cocoa? Alice replied. This reminds me of a riddle, the Mad Hatter said. What keeps your head cool in the summer and warm in the winter? A hat, of course, Alice said. Now, please, I need your help. The Queen's present is lost. With a twinkle in his eye, the Mad Hatter took off his hat. Sitting atop his head was a large box wrapped in Christmas paper, and lying on top of the box was a tiny, sleepy dormouse. There you are, the Mad Hatter said, grabbing the dormouse. And here you are, the March Hare said, handing Alice the present. Oh, thank you, Alice cried. Now, if you would be so kind. But the Mad Hatter and the March Hare weren't listening to her any more. They had burst into song again. On the first day of Christmas, my best friend gave to me a steaming pot of lovely tea. As they continued to sing, Alice realized she would have to keep looking for the White Rabbit on her own. Shaking her head, Alice left the clearing. As she made her way through the trees, she saw the White Rabbit's footprints had reappeared. Alice didn't want to lose the tracks again. She carefully followed them all the way to the Queen's castle. As she approached the gates, the Queen's guards grabbed her. "The Queen's got a reward out for your head," one of the guards said. Oh. The guards brought Alice to the throne room, where the White Rabbit was busy apologizing to the Queen. "I'm sorry, Your Majesty," he said, stammering. "I had your present, and then I lost it." The Queen had heard enough. She stood and pointed down at the White Rabbit. "Off with his head!" she shouted. "No!" Alice cried, breaking away from the guards. "The present isn't lost. I found it." The Queen glared at Alice. "Off with her head!" she yelled. The King coughed quietly and placed his hand on the Queen's arm. "Perhaps you should open the present first, dear," he suggested meekly. The Queen eyed the present. "I suppose I could," she said, tearing off the box's wrapping. Her eyes lit up as she pulled out a small Christmas tree. As the Queen of Hearts admired her Christmas gift, a large grin appeared in the air next to Alice. "Now might not be the worst time to slip away," it said. Alice nodded and quietly snuck out of the room. As soon as she was safely out of sight, she began to run, but she slipped on a patch of ice and hit her head. Everything went black. Uh-oh. When Alice opened her eyes, she found herself back in her parlor. She yawned sleepily. "What a strange dream I've just had," she said. Stretching, Alice looked out the window. Just then, her eye caught the finished snowman. It was wearing a familiar hat and holding a teacup. Alice frowned. Perhaps it hadn't been a dream after all. And that is the end of our first story, the A Present for the Queen. Hope you enjoyed that. And without further ado, I'm going to move right into the second story. Tonight, our second story is Merry Christmas, Winnie the Pooh. Of course, featuring Winnie the Pooh and our friends in the 100-Acre Wood. One snowy Christmas Eve, Winnie the Pooh looked up and down, in and out, and all around his house. "I have a tree, some candles, and lots of decorations," he said to himself. "But something seems to be missing." Suddenly a soft knock sounded on Pooh's door. Perhaps whatever Pooh was missing was just outside. Pooh opened the door. A small snowman stood shaking on his front doorstep. Hello, Pooh, the snowman said through chattering teeth in a shivery, quivery, but oh so familiar voice. I do like Christmas, but I wish my ears wouldn't get so very cold. That looks a lot like someone. Pooh invited the snowman in. After much melting by Pooh's cozy fireplace, the snowman looked less like a snowman and more like Pooh's best friend, Piglet. My, Pooh said, happy to see a friend where there used to be a snowman. My, Piglet said, now warm enough to notice Pooh's glowing Christmas tree. Are you going to string popcorn to decorate your tree? He asked. I had popcorn and string, Pooh admitted, looking at the popcorn crumbs. But now there's only string. That's okay, Piglet said with a laugh. We can use the string to wrap the presents you're giving. At that, something began to tickle the brain of the little bear. I forgot to get presents, Pooh exclaimed. Pooh had known he was missing something, but he had no idea it was presents for all his friends. My goodness. Forgot the presents. Don't worry, Pooh, Piglet said, trying to smile bravely. It's the thought that counts. Soon Piglet left for his own home. He had his own Christmas preparations to finish. Pooh didn't know what to do about the forgotten presents, but he did know where to find help. Pooh grabbed his hat and a scarf, bundling up to trek all the way to Christopher Robin's house. Hello, Pooh called, knocking on Christopher Robin's door. Come in, Pooh, Christopher Robin said, smiling as he let his friend inside. Why do you look so sad on the most wonderful night of the year? In his excitement at seeing Christopher Robin's Christmas decorations, Pooh forgot all about the presents again. What are those? He asked, pointing to some stockings that were hanging above the fireplace. Those are stockings to hold Christmas presents, Christopher Robin explained to his friend. Now Pooh was even sadder. He had just remembered that he didn't have presents or stockings. Luckily, the bear of little brains was smart enough to have a good friend. Christopher Robin happily gave Pooh stockings for himself and all his other friends. Pooh thanked Christopher Robin and hurried off to deliver the stockings. I will get everyone presents later, Pooh said to himself. The stockings come first. With a small note that said, From Pooh, he left stockings for Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit, Eeyore, Gopher, Kanga, Roo, and Owl. Later, back in his own comfy house, Pooh tried to think of presents for his friends, but Sleepy Pooh's thinking soon turned into dreaming. Uh-oh. The next morning, Pooh was awakened by a big bouncy knock at his door. Sleepily, Pooh opened the door. "Merry Christmas, Pooh!" his friends shouted. Pooh was about to apologize for not having any presents for his friends when Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit, Gopher, Eeyore, Kanga, Roo, and Owl started thanking him. Pooh was confused, but happy to see them all at his door. He welcomed them inside. "No more cold ears with my new stocking cap," Piglet said. "My stripedy sleeping bag is Tiggerific!" Tigger exclaimed. "So is my new carrot cover," Rabbit chimed in. Gopher thanked Pooh for the rock collecting bag, and Eeyore swished his toasty tail warmer with a slight smile. Owl announced that his windsock was perfect for figuring out which way the breeze was blowing, and Kanga and Roo loved their new scarfs. "Something awfully nice is going on," Pooh said, "but I'm not sure how it happened." "It's called Christmas, Buddy Bear," Tigger replied. Then everyone gave their presents to Pooh. Lots of pots of delicious sweet honey. Surrounded by his friends and his favorite tasty treat, Pooh had to agree. Christmas. What a sweet thought indeed. And that is our second and final story for the show tonight. Merry Christmas, Winnie the Pooh, and a Merry Christmas to you all, my friends who are watching both live and on the replay. Thank you so much for watching. Well, I hope you have had a wonderful Christmas season. I have enjoyed reading all these fun stories for Once Upon a Turkey Leg for you and doing all my other streams as well. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this edition of Once Upon a Turkey Leg. The great stories will continue next week with a special edition again of the stream. So I hope you will come back next Thursday and find out what I'll be reading for you next Thursday. Also remember Tuesday on New Year's Eve I will be live at 9 o'clock. So I hope that you will come join me for that stream. Dave Stragan, hello, and Julie Gerbil, hello. I'm actually heading out. Tina put the link to Zippity Doo Doug. He is at Epcot. Go and enjoy Luminous starting right now. But for this channel, Thank you guys so much for watching. Bop the like if you haven't. If you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comments and say hello and let me know that you were here. So have a gobbletastic night, everyone. And once again, for the final time, Merry Christmas. And coming next week, Happy New Year. So take care, everybody. Do, do, do.